happy to be here.
Friends, this talk is going to be special because the way we are looking at the interest rates falling down, okay, number one, and number two, there are very few opportunities when it comes to bonds or when it comes to FD investments. From where will the returns come to an investor, especially for the retired people or anyone who don't want to take equity market risk? Now, if not equity market, then where will you have to put? And what is the other option which you have? Here we have P2P lending. And to talk about that and explain to us so that this also becomes a part of our portfolio, we have Mr. Bhavin Patel, who is the founder of an organization, or rather a P2P platform, which is the largest in India as of now. And he's also, I think, heading the association of P2P foundation, P2P groups. So how this all started, Bhavin? First, you explain us a little bit about what is this P2P, since how long it is there, and how things are going. And then the next level, you explain us why you got into it, what excited you, what is so interesting about this. Over to you.
Sure, Kanakji. So P2P lending exists in India for ages, even before we were introduced to banking or non-banking companies, right? So I mean, everybody, when there is a need of money and you are unable to access credit or capital from any other sources, you always go back to your community, your friends, your family members. And especially if you look at in India, especially Marwadi, Gujarati and all, we always see that in our family, whenever we required capital, we go back to our family first. कि अच्छा ये business start करना है, can I get this capital, right? And then 5-10 people will come together, give you capital, you set up the business, and बाद में आप उनको return के साथ जो भी commercial arrangement होता है 1.25 जो भी percentage है आप उनको वापस दे देते हो. So P2P lending is also same where there are many people coming together to give a loan to a person, right? And who is the person? So earlier it was more a community based or more a family based. We are replacing that concept, making it more contractual, making it more authenticate, making it more legal. And now with RBI's regulation in the sector, it makes it legal to arrange this kind of loan for a person who is looking for a credit. So on our platform, let's say somebody is looking for a loan of 50,000 rupees. They come to us, we verify them on various parameters, more than 200, 300 parameters, including KYC, financial, health check, credit historical data, etc. And if they are acceptable based on our credit norms, we approve their loans, and that loan is funded by hundreds of lenders available on the platform, right? So as an individual investor, let's say if you are investing 1 lakh rupees, that gets divided into hundreds of borrowers, small amount, so that there is enough diversification. At the same time, as a borrower, आप अगर platform के पास आए हो, तो platform will give you loan of, let's say, 1 lakh rupees collected from hundreds of different lenders. So पुराना concept है, just उसको technologically shape दिया गया है, and it is now more of mainstream economical activity rather than it was more of community based or family based thing.
Means this is a very old concept, yes, especially in Calcutta or in this part. No, people are lending to a friend, to corporate and to non-corporates, and so that's absolutely there, and this has become institutionalized, this has become structured now, so that is really awesome. So can I also tell that this is just like a Amazon, where people have their goods, they put in, and people who want to buy, they can buy it? It's like a platform like that, or would you like to compare it with some other form?
Yes, absolutely. It's a very clear and transparent marketplace that there are hundreds of borrowers coming on monthly basis. There are 25-30,000 loans we give on every month through our platform, and there are thousands of lenders available who comes and invest into these loans. So you can compare it with any marketplace like Amazon or Flipkart. At the same time, you can compare it with bank as well. See, in case of bank, what happens is you become a depositor. Let's say you given 1 lakh rupees as a fixed deposit. Bank takes that money, puts it in a common pool, and then decides whom to be given, right? And ultimately, they let's say they are paying you 5%. they will land at 10%, 12%, keeping some default margin and some kind of operational margin. तो ये जो 12% पे लोन गया है वो वापस आएगा, वहां से ऑपरेशनल कॉस्ट हटेगी, डिफॉल्ट कॉस्ट हटेगी और आपको अल्टीमेटली 5% मिलेगा. सेम कॉन्सेप्ट, जस्ट मोर ट्रांसपेरेंट एंड यहाँ पे चीजें थोड़ी डिफरेंट वे में ऑपरेट करती है कि बैंक में आपने दे दिया, देन यू फॉरगेट कि अच्छा किसको पैसा जा रहा है. यहाँ पे आपको वो भी दिखता है कि आपका पैसा लेट से 1 लाख रुपीज है, वो कौन से 500 बोरोवर को गया, कौन से 800 बोरोवर को गया, वो सारी चीजें आपको बहुत ट्रांसपेरेंटली अपने अकाउंट्स में दिख जाती है. तो आई वुड से इट्स मोर ऑफ ट्रांसपेरेंट बैंकिंग एंड marketplace concept.
I think one more question which also is there in the chat box and all, it is about the how is the risk taken? Is the risk taken by the P2P platform or is it by the investor, if there is any risk?
Yes, there is a credit default risk here. So that risk is taken by the investor. So if there is any instrument, whether it is mutual fund or anything, right, other than P2P as well, everywhere the risk is taken by the person who is investing money. Even in case of banks, see, if we look at the Indian banking system, up to 5 lakh rupees, that money is secured by the Insurance Act, but beyond that it is not secured, right? So everywhere there is a possible risk in a different way. So here also there is a credit default risk, and that is on the investor himself, but again that is very well diversified, and that's the reason that inherent risk has been mitigated, and that's the reason it is safe to invest. And those are the very, very detailed calculation which our algorithm makes, and that's the reason the rate of interest which is offered to the borrower is different than the ultimate returns which you make, right? So let's say 15% is the rate of interest to the borrower, there will be default cost of some percentage, and ultimately you net 10 to 12% kind of return in your account.
So what has been your observation in like you are there for last 5 years now, the one of the first P2P platform which was licensed by RBI, and this is all controlled by RBI, that is what I understand. What is the default rate? Let's say out of 100 people, how many people default or delay, things like that?
So see, whenever there is a credit, there will be possible delay and default scenario, right? And in any kind of instrument. So here also it is there. And if you look at our current default rates, those falls anywhere between 4 to 5%. And again, default is never a independent number. It should be always looked in comparison with the rate of interest which is offered to the customer. So even if you look at overall banking industry, there also you will find certain percentage of default, and those are already incalculated in the rate of interest offered to the customer. But historically, we have been between 3 to 6% kind of default, and currently at around 4.5%.
Okay. And one more thing which I understand, that what is the civil score? Do you look at a civil score or the a person, what type of person he is, or do we give to loan to anyone and everyone, or to businesses, or to only salaried people? Do we have some classification?
So we have two kind of borrower products. One for the salaried customer, where we give loan up to 25,000. Another is for the businesses, where we give loan up to 1.5 lakh rupees. Again, in both the cases, around 200 plus parameters which we verify. That includes a lot of their behavioral pattern, which we understand from their mobile data, their financial data, their credit historical data. Credit score is one part of the parameter, but it is not the only part, because if that is the only part, then possibly banks should have zero defaults, because they generally used to see only the civil score or credit score, and they used to give loans in past. But we all know that what has happened in history. So it is more important to understand customer in a behavioral way. So for example, if Bhavin is working with small organization, somebody else is working with big organization with some bigger salary, but there is always possibility that Bhavin is more good in terms of behavior or his intention to pay the EMI, whereas the other guy is not, even though he's earning higher or working with a bigger organization. So this is more important question, and that's what our AI algorithm tries to find out, that what borrower has in terms of credit risk default possibility, and that's where our strength comes into the picture.
That's really interesting. Again, I would like to congratulate you for winning the award yesterday from FFF and Economic Times. That's again the most preferred and a very innovative thing which you all are doing as far as P2P platforms are concerned. So like getting into the field, I would like to know, rather we would like to know, what was the passion? Why? What is your background and other co-founders group background, and why you got into this? What excited you? How this industry is exciting you?
So see, I have been working with NBFCs for almost 7-8 years before I ventured into LenDenClub, and I always was very passionate about lending businesses in India, right? But I was very unhappy seeing the situation in India, that there are so many lending institutions available, but because of unavailability of capital, they are not able to provide credit to the right customer. And some of the personal incidents also happen. I saw a lot of people were denied credit when somebody is looking for, let's say, 25,000 rupees, when there is a family emergency, medical emergency, or somebody's family member died and he has to complete the perform the final rites. He's unable to get small amount of loan because banks can't give small amounts. So that's what prompted us to think about new kind of product line, and that's why we thought about why can't we open up the lending side for the individual. And that is how the whole journey of LenDenClub started, and now it has become one of the mainstream lending institution. And over next 5 years, we are expecting that we will be one of the top 20-25 lending institution at the country level.
Friends, from today morning, we are understanding, and we have already done few programs, which was this, all these programs, all these sessions were talking one thing: problem solving, problem solving, problem solving. And here I find one problem. With most of the corporate people, know, they are taking loans or maybe personal loan or a credit card loan, and they are paying up to 40%, 36%. Now this becomes easy. Is this like something, a solution for these people? Instead of taking that credit card loan of 36-40%, they can easily get a loan in, let's say, 2 hours or 1 day or something like that at your platform, and it becomes easy for them, although they are quite credit worthy. Is it, or like how is that happening?
Absolutely. See, we are very focused on the technology usage. So since the day of inception, our focus has been using technology in the best way, so that we can add more benefit to our customers on both the side, borrowers as well as the investors who are investing money, right? So the idea is very simple, that we have to provide different kind of solution than what it exists in the market. So today we give more than 50% loans within 2 hours time period to our customers, and around 82% loans within 5 hours time period. And that's what we have expertise into. So technology is our strength, and my co-founder and CTO comes from the technology background, created a product before this as well. And now we are working on very different and complex optimization algorithm, borrower credit algorithms, etc. And that is the strength which we are creating, and that is how we are trying to solve the problem. So it's never that in India there was no capital. Capital was always available, but the idea of solving the problem which common man faces was not there. And if the transaction or the loan is not profitable for a bank at 25-50,000 rupees, they would not do it. So we are the new age companies which are coming, taking up these problems and trying to solve it using technology which is available easily in India. And when India is leading the world by showing the route like UPIs, which is one of the most preferred payment way, and now a lot of other countries are also asking RuPay system, then other system, right? So many things which different countries are asking, and all these are technological achievements. Then how can we people of India can sit idle and not solving the problem of our own people? And that's what inspires us. And we work every day to solve this problem, not only for the borrower but also for investor, that when you can get better returns like 10% kind of, then why should you compromise with 3, 4, 5% kind of returns?
So that's awesome. So finally, we are solving three problems over here. First, because a person who wants to borrow money, instead of paying 40%, 36% to a credit card, he can get it maybe at a 18%, 20% over here. The second, it is fast. You get it in 2 hours, not like it is taking 2 days, 3 days to approve and then get the money. This is again the second benefit. And the third, for an investor, instead of investing into, let's say, a bank fixed deposit wherein he is getting around 5%, he can actually get 18% less, whatever your fees or whatever the fees of the platform is. So it is actually benefiting all the three parties involved in one transaction. So I think this is something which is amazing. What has been and even if there is a default rate, let's say, as you mentioned, about 5 to 6% people default or they delay. So let's say if we got into 18% rate, so how much one can expect? Let's say somebody has invested 1 lakh rupees and he was supposed to get 18,000 rupees in 2 years or a 3-year time. So what is that is deducted? So that what should he expect out of this, considering the default percentage?
Yeah, so see, as you rightly calculated, our default rate remains around 4.5%. So if the average rate remains 18-19%, the net what any investor can make is anywhere between 10 to 12%, and that's what people are making right now as well. If you look at the investors on the platform who are investing using auto invest algorithms of our platform, if somebody invests 1 lakh and above, 89% of lenders have received more than 10% kind of return, and some handful of investors have got even more because there is a compounding effect and all. The average fees which platform charges remains around 1.8 to 2%. Again, we don't want to burden our investors by charging any upfront fees, which is one of the question which I could see was sent by someone. So we don't charge anything upfront to the investor. What we say is, if you earn money, we will also earn money. So when your EMIs are coming back and you are making returns on your investment, we also charge you some percentage of fees, which is 1.8 to 2% on an average. So that's how our pricing model works with the investors, and net they will make 10 to 12% kind of returns.
This looks quite a win-win situation. A platform which is authorized, which is regulated by RBI under the P2P NBFC category, a platform where things are fast, a platform where people can get loan, and a platform wherein people can give money or lend money. Any tenure is there? Any lock-in is there, Bhavin? Because no, can we put in for 3 months or 3 years or 30 years? What is it all about? If you can just tell.
Sure.
Something.
So see, there is no locking per se on our platform, as and when the money is coming back, any investor can take it out. But we definitely suggest our investors to keep money at least for 12 months or 24 months. Keep these two as a horizon, and that is how our investment plans are also made. The reason behind that is, when our auto invest algorithm works, it tries to optimize your returns. So for example, when you come on the first day and invest 1 lakh rupees, that gets divided into 200 to 300 borrowers. Next month, when EMI comes back, that again gets divided into some more borrowers. So system automatically tries to optimize your performance with the platform performance, and tries to match with the 4.5% of platform default and 10 to 12% of platform returns as well. So if that has been disturbed in between, by taking out money in between, then there will be possible scenario where you will not be able to see the return which you are expecting otherwise. So that's the reason we advise our investors to keep money at least for 12 months or 24 months, so that you see proper result.
Quick questions like, what is the minimum investment one can make on your platform? Any individual?
See, our if you ask my personal suggestion, I would say invest with 1 lakh rupees and above. If you look at historical return data, then one can start with 25,000 rupees as well. But if you invest 1 lakh and above, then there is very, very high probability, 89% probability is that you will get double-digit returns.
What is the maximum one can invest?
You can invest up to 50 lakh rupees on the platform.
Is this the regulations by RBI?
Yeah, 50 lakh is the maximum cap by the RBI at this point.
And individuals, HUF companies, all can invest?
Any legal person or an entity in India can invest. It could be individual like you and me, or any kind of firm, proprietorship, partnership, LLP, private limited, even HUF, anybody can invest.
In some of the P2P platforms, I have seen that if you are, let's say, lending 1 lakh or 10 lakh rupees, you are getting interest plus EMI every month. Let's say if it's a 3-year period and you are getting, it's like a car EMI reversed. On your platform, is it like that, or plus some other facilities there wherein we only get interest and not the principal, and finally we get the principal?
No, it's always a very transparent mechanism. So whatever comes back from the borrower is delivered back to the investor. When it is on auto invest algorithm, that amount will again get reinvested. But let's say if it is 100 rupees, 110 rupees, 100 rupees principal and 10 rupees interest, it will come hit back your LenDen account and then again gets reinvested. So it's very transparent mechanism. You can compare it with mutual fund, that how the calculation happens, the investment amount, whatever returns are generated, and then how it is distributed to the unit holders.
There is another question in the chat box. How is it? Is the monthly? Can the interest be paid monthly, quarterly, cumulative? What's the way?
So interest is paid as and when customers' EMIs are paid. So generally, it is received on a monthly basis. There are a couple of products where it is received on a daily basis as well. So investors can take that out in case they require. Otherwise, if they have put their investment on the auto invest algorithm, then system will automatically reinvest that money as and when received. But there is always a facility which you can take it out.
Like for see, this is a forum of mutual fund distributors, and so mostly in mutual funds there is a trail which is being paid. So we don't want to discuss any commercials or the trail part over here, but still people can just visit the exhibition part of this conference, or even get in touch with the people of LenDenClub. You will be able to know that. But overall, is the concept more or less like mutual fund industry in a format of a trail, or is it something different wherein you pay to the distributors?
So it's similar like trail, and we don't want to come up with something new, which takes time for people to adapt as well as understand. And you all have created the mutual fund industry, so we would be happy accepting the same concept, so that the mutual fund distributors are more happy to adapt that concept. So we follow the same trail concept.
What is the total disbursement you have done so far?
So far, we have disbursed more than 1,000 crore worth of loan through the platform. And so far, the investment which has hit our account is more than 2,000 crores.
Oh, that's an amazing figure. And it's like how many years with your company? I think LenDen is one of the first companies in Indian market.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. We have completed 6 years in the month of August, and now we are selling in the 7th year.
Okay, so it's the leader's advantage, or you can say the first mover's advantage, which is there with you. And I'm sure this is really, really going to have a good experience. I think each and every distributor can experiment, try on their own, and then only take it to their investors and understand everything before getting into that. And about how to impanel and all. There is a question on how to get impaneled and how to. There will be some sessions which is there. All the exhibitors will be doing sessions on detailed understanding of the product in next 1 month, in next 30 days, which will be intimated and informed to each one of us. Please do attend that for more detail, because before you take it to the customers, I think we should be aware each and everything. If you can have 100 questions, but have them all before you get it to the investors, I think that's the better way. So any last few things you'd like to share, so that people would like to get a flavor of this, or get their investors on board on this, Bhavin?
Yes, Kanak ji. So we have created very strong module to onboard the mutual fund distributor partners as well, right? So we inform them, we explain them, we make them understand about how it works, what are the risk factors, how those risks are mitigated. And then after understanding everything, they can take it to their customers. They're also on the collateral part and information side also, we help them. Because the ultimate aim is that all three of us, the platform, your investor, as well as you, all three of us should get business, and we have to earn money in the right way. Also, this is something building for next decade, right? So by 2030, we want to be one of the top 10 lending institution in India. So it is going to happen with all your support only. So we are building something for everybody's betterment. If you find that some other areas are there which we need to address, or something can work in a better way for investors as well as mutual fund distributor brothers and sisters, we are very happy to take it up as the feedback and possibly make it more acceptable.
Thank you so much, Bhavin, for this insightful session and this talk. I think this was a beautiful conversation, and most of the questions which were written in the chat box are also answered. But again, we will surely have you for a detailed sessions with your team so that people can understand and take it forward. And I think this is the future. We will all have to look at all the options and keep learning and keep investing. So thank you very much, Bhavin, for your presence, for your time, and sharing all the concepts and ideas. On behalf of Financial Freedom Fraternity and Economic Times, we thank you for your presence and being as a speaker. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kanak ji. My pleasure.
Friends, let's move forward. Now we have